And we're live. And we're live. Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? We are live. It is Tuesday. You all know what time it is. It's time for you to share. So you might as well hit that share button on your Facebook, thread, timeline, wherever you at, in the car, on your phone, at home. Hit that share button. And tonight is going to be a good discussion, I believe. It's a discussion that we all need to have. It's not just a black discussion. It is a universal discussion. And so what me and Brielle are doing right now, we are going to share this daggone live on our personal pages. As you guys know, it's always a struggle for us to do this, Struggle City. But we're going to make it happen a little better soon. So remember, you have to, in order for us to know that you're joining us, you have to comment inside the comments. If not, we don't know that you're here. We love that you guys do join us every week. I know, don't get mad at us because we wasn't here last Tuesday. But thank you guys for being a part of our live with Brielle and Devon. And do not forget to smash a like button, whether it be like, whether it be you laughing, whether it be you hearting us. Don't forget to smash that button. All right? So I don't know.
I think I share. Hopefully I share. I think I share. Yeah, I share. Hey!
So I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna let me share as well. So I'm sharing. So I just share myself.
Okay. We in the building. I think that was the time. That might have been the fastest time we ever shared. So if you guys are joining us and you share, we appreciate you guys. Last time we had a few some new people coming on and they shared and uploaded a video and their comment being plastered across the screen. So we love it.
We definitely love it. So I guess we'll jump right into it. Me and Brielle, we want to know, how was your Thanksgiving? If you are joining us tonight, and if you want to drop inside the chat box, you can. Me and Brielle are going to discuss how our Thanksgiving was real quick, and then we're going to move on to the next discussion. What's going on, Lang? What's going on?
Hey, Lang. So how was so what? So we're at Tuesday, December 1st. Oh my goodness, wow. Yeah, so how was that?
Maquiba?
Hey, Maquiba.
We're gonna get to Maquiba right after these two discussions, because we have her game that we're playing tonight on live. If Maquiba wants to join us for our financial expert on live, she can via video. If not, just stay within the chat box and help us out with these questions.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, it's so exciting to have you joining us.
Oh, you missed us, Lang?
We missed you too, Lang.
We missed you too. So yeah, back to Thanksgiving.
So Thanksgiving, so I guess we were just talking about like how everything was. My Thanksgiving was good. I went over to my friend's house. It was only just three of us. Got together. My normal my normal crew or whatever, just three. Kept it light, So I guess I kind of followed the the stay at home or the quarantine rules or whatever. So it was real cool. I'm a person, like, I don't like, I enjoy smaller, gatherings anyway. Mm-hmm. So it was cool with my normal homies or whatever, and we just had friendsgiving. So it was cool. We watched Jingle Jangle. That's an awesome Christmas movie. So that was a dope movie, and just talked about things that's going on, how we gonna end the year out, and just random stuff.
Okay. Maquiba said, I could be on video if need be, but also happy to stay in the chat as well. Well, yeah, just let us know, Maquiba, if you want to join the video when we get to playing your the game. We would love to have you on here, because we read the rules and it said a financial expert, and I do know that you are a financial expert. So I figured it would be great to have you in on it, but it's up to you. So my Thanksgiving, I didn't do nothing either. I actually stayed at home. I made some shrimp pasta with red sauce.
Oh.
And then and then what else? So where I'm at now, for some reason, I don't know, maybe it's also with the quarantine crap going on as well. I thought that I'm so used to actually being able to get up on Thanksgiving Day to go to the grocery store to grab something at the last minute. And I wanted to go grab some frozen cookies, but I went to my grocery store down the street and it was closed. And then so the Sprouts was open across the street, but they didn't have the cookies that I wanted. They didn't really have frozen cookies there. So then I went to the Walmart. The Walmart was closed.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, I'm not feeling this because I was like, I'm not used to, like, on Thanksgiving Day, you usually get a certain amount of time before the grocery store part closed that you can go grab last things. And I was just like, so I had to end up going to a random grocery store and I bought like these daggone cinnamon rolls, which I really didn't want. But then it was 3 for $5. So I ended up getting 3 of them because I'm like, well, I might.
You don't have to do that, sir. Like, they used to buy 5. I'm glad we got a financial literacy expert on here. So they would just divide it by the item that you purchase, and that's what you don't have to get all 3 of them. So, okay.
So
about financial. That's about health. You don't got to buy the whole thing.
So I had to buy all 3 of them, and I actually ate all 3 of the packs of them in 2 days.
Oh my packs! No, but you sound like me because, but my frustration came the day before. As some of you guys who join us every week, we talk about a lot of health and fitness on here, and I talk about how I haven't been to Whole Foods since this whole situation been going on because.
She's an Ella. She is so right.
Thank you, Queen. Yeah, so ever since we been in this pandemic, I haven't been going to Whole Foods really because all of like Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and stuff be having you lining up, and I don't have time. I already have a pre-existing shopping condition where I hate grocery shopping, and I can't couple that with the fact now they want us to be in these pandemic lines, and you know how long it takes for people to be in a Whole Foods. Like that's gonna take a minute for you to be trying to find what you want, and I gotta wait in line. So the day before Thanksgiving, when I tell you, I had to wait for like 15 minutes for homeboy to get out the parking spot. I get in the park and I go to the entrance, and the line is wrapped around Whole Foods. Car, and I had to reevaluate everything I was going to do for Thanksgiving. So I can't. And I went to Whole Foods again today, and it was just not. I just don't enjoy it. Like, so that was how Thanksgiving was, but I had a great time. I hope you guys had, how was your Thanksgiving? Those of you guys that are on joining us right now, did you guys, have a regular Thanksgiving like normal, or did you actually, have a quarantine number of people, or did you do solo? Did you have a Zoom? A lot of people said they Zoom.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. My friend Jaron, he actually came over later in the day, and he had made a sweet potato pie. So I had a sweet potato pie. I thought he would be on here, but he's not on here right now. And then also we Zoomed. We played like a Zoom game with his sister. It was real fun. She had like made her own Zoom game up. It was like a Jeopardy trivia style game. It was really fun.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
So if you guys have any things about your Thanksgiving, drop it in the chat. And we're gonna move on to the next thing. So, but if you say anything about your Thanksgiving, let us know in the chat. We want to know how everybody's Thanksgiving was. If anything great happened, I don't know if Lane wants to kind of discuss it in the chat, but something wonderful happened with her daughter this past Thanksgiving, and it's up to her. But well, I guess I can say it anyway. My cousin, her daughter got engaged to be married, so that's like.
Aw, congratulations! Aw, that's so cool.
Charlie got engaged. So we're gonna move in from after Thanksgiving because we know right after Thanksgiving comes Black Friday, and a lot of people this year decided to shop online for Black Friday. So I'm gonna read the numbers real quick about this whole Black Friday stuff. I usually have it on my computer, but I didn't want to mess up the stuff. And then I guess we'll see if any of you guys shopped Black Friday this year. So it says this year Black Friday hit a new record with consumers spending $9 billion and it was an increase of 21.6% year over year. And they said online sales hit 7.4 billion on Black Friday in 2019. So this year is basically the record has been set for like online shopping. And of course, it probably would be set because a lot of people were quarantining or staying at home. But like it's $9 billion worth of sales online this year. So did you shop online this Black Friday?
Yeah. I didn't. I shopped yesterday.
So you did Cyber Monday. So what did you get? So what did you get for Cyber Monday?
Cyber Monday, but only thing, first of all, I told you when I be buying stuff, I don't like you coming at my neck. I don't like the tone, the energy that is spewing from you landing on me. I don't like it. I want you to go back, rephrase back. I don't like how I don't like how I received that question. Anyway, yeah, I bought some real estate books. I'm a real estate investor, so I bought some real estate books because I'm actually changing my territory, and I want to be educated to know, make sure I'm going in the right direction and things like that. So I feel like, yes, I made a purchase, but it was an investment into my education and myself, and towards my future, my financial goals, which ties into today's topic. Just happened to be. So yeah, that's the only thing I purchased on Cyber Monday. I didn't do Black Friday. I really don't ever buy anything for Black Friday or Cyber Monday. I actually found last year when I was doing my whole apartment over, I actually found better deals after all of this stuff was done. The probably like right after Christmas was a lot of deals. So yeah, I didn't have anything to buy.
Yeah, and that's so this year I didn't shop Black Friday either. I was trying to create a push of everybody shopping Black Friday, particularly with Black-owned businesses online, or even if you do find them in stores. Like I was telling people, even if you go to Target, there are Black-owned businesses in Target. Well, brands, not businesses, but brands like the Honey Pot. Like I think is she at Walmart and Target or just Target?
I think she's just in Target.
So like you can go like she's Black-owned for feminine hair care for women. Hygiene, sorry, for women, and then it's like you got Black. Board games, if you guys want to get games, because there actually has been a surge in games this year. So if you go into stores like Target or Walmart and you want to invest in buying Black and you don't want to go online to buy Black because you want to get it right away, you can get like Black Card Revoked. You can get Rhyme Antics. It's a new game that just got released in Targets as well by a Black creator called Culture Tags. So like these are other ways you can shop Black. So I'm not telling people to stay out of those particular stores, but I'm saying like if you go into stores, if you can make a conscious decision. I know it's hard because we've always been, we're so used to just going to the store, picking up anything, and we don't really think behind the different things. So that's all I was trying to kind of push this year, and hopefully next year to continue to push it, because a lot of Black-owned businesses this year actually shut down because of the pandemic. I think they said about 40% of Black-owned businesses shut down because of the pandemic, and so it equated to like 440,000 Black-owned businesses shut down, and they're not going to reopen.
Wow.
So we have to really find a way if we're going to shop to be mindful, and try our best to shop Black if we can. So that's kind of what I was pushing this Black Friday. I didn't buy anything for Black Friday. However, I have been like very mindful to kind of shop Black. Well, actually, I did buy something. I don't know if I bought it on Friday, but I bought this cool financial card game called FIQ Questions, financial flashcards that we're going to talk about.
Yay!
So I don't know if any of you guys do online shopping this Friday, or did you do Cyber Monday shopping? Put it in the chat. Let us know what you got. If you got anything cool, because that'd be great to see what's on your Christmas list or your shopping list. What's going on, Dad?
Hey, Mr. James.
So I don't know if any of you guys did any cool online shopping or whatever, but don't forget to drop it in the chat. So yeah, I guess we'll go from that because y'all not talking tonight. I don't know what's going on. Nobody chatting with us. Like we love that y'all here, but this is a community of chatting. You know what I'm saying? But y'all being quiet in the comments.
Everybody still stuff. Thanksgiving leftovers.
Everybody stuff from Thanksgiving leftovers. We got some people that's passing by that's lurking, but they don't want to say nothing. But
maybe everybody playing with their new toys that they bought Black Friday. Did anybody get a PS5 or Xbox? I don't know what Xbox number it is, but I get one of those.
Exactly. But I guess we'll go. Let us know what y'all got for Black Friday. If anything was Black owned that y'all copped, whatever you copping for Christmas or whatever. If you guys are still interested in buying before the holidays, you can go over to Verify the Game. Verify the Game is a Black owned game. And
I know the owner of that game.
And you could go over there. All the holiday sales, 10% of the proceeds of each item, each purchase of Verify the Game is going to be donated to the Juvenile Detention Center in Camden, New Jersey. So if you guys are interested in supporting and helping, and also putting toiletries or anything, whatever they decide to get with the money raised for the youth at the center, you can definitely head over to verifythegame.com. Or, what'd you say?
Awesome that you guys are doing that.
I know. Or you can get into what we're about to discuss now. You can get a financial literacy flashcards from FIQ Questions.com. So actually, let me put her website in here. And we about to dive into this because this is something that I think we all have. So you can check out her. You can buy these cards. This is a Black-owned company as well. And she has flashcards. And we are about to jump into this whole financial discussion right now. Because it's something that we all need. That we all.
Am I gonna be crying after we're done?
I don't know. We got Ask McQueen, what she said. She said finances, LOL, it's a scary subject. Yes, it is.
And you're gonna have this right after Black Friday.
Well, I think it's perfect to have this right after Black Friday, like a discussion around finances, because literally half of us probably blew half of our finances shopping on Black Friday or even Cyber Monday, right?
You're gonna take my PlayStation back.
Let's go take it back. So what I'm gonna do, so since we're doing it online, you guys, this discussion is happening online. I'm gonna read you how the game is usually played. She said maybe. I'm gonna read you the directions of how the game is usually played, but we're gonna kind of switch it up a little bit. So when you guys do decide to cop this game, you will know the way in which you can play it at home or with family and friends. So basically, first of all, I just love the package. I don't know if y'all saw it. It's kind of hard. I keep putting it on. But let me go through the things real quick. So it says each person will get a card. Be sure everyone gets at least one card in each category. Have each person read the question aloud and answer it to their best ability. 3, it is always helpful to have an expert in the room who is educated about finances. So we're hoping to get Maquiba on here as our expert in the room on here live.
Neither one of us fit that description.
We are not experts. We are experts in spending. We are not experts in. It says what is not. However, the answer to most questions will be subjective. Everyone has a different walk of life, and what is right for one person may not be so for another. Therefore, the purpose of this game is to listen to what others are doing and how they are building a positive relationship with money, so that you too may implement good practices. And 4, if you are playing in points, for every question you answer, give yourself a point. A question you do not know or opt to have someone else answer, a point should be taken away. So so we're not going to play it this way, but that is the way to play. What we're going to do is I have the cards in my hand, and I'm just going to read each card around discussion, and we're going to bring Maquiba in. So, okay, Maquiba, I got you. I'm going to put a link inside the chat, and then all you got to do is just click on that link. And then when you click on that link, it should bring you into the backstage of where we're at on the stream. So so we're going to get Maquiba in here, and we're going to I put the link inside the chat, Maquiba, so you should be able to click it. We're going to get Maquiba in here with us. She's going to be our financial expert. Again, if you guys want to have this discussion around finances with your children, with your family, with your friends, go to FIQQuestions.com and cop your financial flashcards, because this is something that we need to have a discussion around, because a lot of us.
I need to get me some rich friends. Maquiba, you should sell rich friends along with the game. I don't want to be playing with no broke friends. I need some rich friends to see what they do.
I need some rich friends.
Okay, this is gonna be exciting. So this is gonna let me know if I'm doing any. But so they're not gonna have no answers. It's just basically us saying what we feel the answer is, or like listening to what each person's saying, how they roll in their lives, I guess.
Exactly. So we're gonna. Oh, there go Maquiba.
You should sell.
Hey.
Maquiba. Rich friends, see what they do.
Oh, we gotta.
I can hear myself.
You guys turn the volume off.
Huh?
Maquiba probably have to mute the volume. You got it?
I think I got it.
We got it. All right. Cool. So we're going to bring you on. Thank you for joining us, Maquiba.
Yes, absolutely.
Those directions. I was like, financial expert.
You don't necessarily need one, but it's always best to have one.
I was so excited to get it. So again, we're doing financial flashcards from FIQ Questions, and this is the creator joining us, Maquiba Massey.
Hey, y'all.
And so, I don't know, do you want to say real quick a little bit about your background in finance?
Yeah, I can. So as Devon and Bria has stated, my name is Maquiba Massey, founder and CEO of Financial IQ LLC, which produces the FI Questions game card. And the entire purpose of why I wanted to even create this game was because we often aren't comfortable about discussing finances in general. And it's important that we understand the psychological factors that are influencing the way that we behave and think about money. And so having taught financial education for a little over 7 years, and just knowing what people do and the way that they're thinking is what led me to actually create this game, along with me going through some financial hurdles myself. And so I wanted to be sure that everyone was at least having the discussion, or at least having the discussion in a safe and somewhat light of an environment, so that it wouldn't be as scary as it normally is. So that's the whole purpose and background and a little bit about me.
That's awesome.
So we're gonna jump into it.
This is usually like the taboo subject. You're like, oh, how much you make? I ain't asking them how much they make. You know, that's cool. That is a game. You know, because games are like icebreaker.
I don't even have the cards myself, so Devon, we really going off of you.
All right. I'm gonna. So what category? I guess because, like I said, the way we play games, everybody gets a card in each category. So I guess we'll figure out what category we're gonna start with first. Do we want to do expenses, debt, credit, income, investment, savings, or do we want to do general questions? What do you feel is good to start at?
Start with general and maybe do one question in each category.
Okay.
And are we having our lovely family over here joining us as well? You guys can, chat, put in the chat box your answers as well. And play along with us.
Yeah, please put in the chat box. That's the purpose of us doing this too, on Live with Bria and Devon, because we want everyone. We want to know about. I know y'all don't want to say about your finances, but if we can kind of discuss this a little bit more, it'll be great for just not only us here, but also family and friends and children. Blah blah blah.
We all trying to get rich together.
Okay.
We at the same table fighting over the check.
Amen. Generational wealth.
Yes.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna start with general questions, you guys. Again, we're playing FIQ financial flashcards.
You got it. Okay, how about it? You got it. Yeah.
General questions. So this is what the questions look like. I don't know if you guys can kind of see it. Here we go. So the question I'm gonna say is, do any childhood money beliefs impact or influence how you handle money as an adult today? Is it for good or bad? Real.
Financial beliefs I guess I would say, like, I know my mom was always keen on, always having like some safety money somewhere. I was always taught never give anyone your last. So like if you only had $100 left and a bill is paid, never give that to the bill, because like you always gotta have some type of cash. Like regardless of the amount, you should always have some type of cash. So I'll make sure that, like, well, thankfully I haven't been in a situation in a long, long time where I've been down to like, minimum dollars, but I always keep that in the back of my mind to like however bad things get, to never give your last to anyone. So that's one that always stuck out to me, to like just always have that safety net somewhere to be able to access some cash.
And mine would be, I used to always say, money don't grow on trees.
Well, I had one like that. My mom used to say, she would say, my mom's name is Yvette, but we used to call her, people would call her Betty, and she would always say, Betty's money is a terrible thing to waste. Like, that's not the commercial. The commercial was mine was a terrible thing to waste, but that was always the thing. Like, if I'm going to buy this, it may be something you're going to use, or, because I, me, I buy stuff like, so I shouldn't buy it, but, that's another thing. But I don't always practice that one. But I always practice making sure I got some, some safety cash somewhere.
So why did she say money doesn't always grow on trees? Do you know the reasoning behind that, or what exactly she meant? Explain that.
So I don't know the reason behind. I think it was a way to kind of almost save your money or try not to spend as much. So my mom, that's what my mom would say. She'd be like, money don't grow on trees, and it'd be, I don't know. I just be like, okay. So, but I know it impacts me in a way where I'm like, now I'm like that. I say that with people now. I'm like, I ain't got that much money. Like, I ain't got no money. Like, stop asking me. Money don't grow on trees. Like, I ain't got no money. So I'm like, I know it impacted me, but in a negative way, not really in a good way, because now I'm so cautious about spending my money. And it's so funny because when I got to college, this one friend named Gail, she would always be like, oh, well, money goes. So she would be like more affluent and spend it. And I would be like, well, shit, money don't grow on trees over here, so I can't be spending money. So I know like it impacted me, like not in a good way, but I guess the only good way that kind of came out of it is that I learned how to like budget and save my money in a different way.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm like, but I'll be tough with my money, Brie. I know.
But that's a good thing though. You don't want to just blow it. So it's good that you.
We're talking about a few cents here. We're talking about cents. We ain't talking about. We hit a person that go buy the pack of meat and the meat falls on $5.27. You be like, oh, what that say? $5.18 on that? Give me that piece of meat over there. Dude, like, no, it's a difference.
I'm really, really tight with money, which is sometimes good, sometimes not.
I think you got to have a balance, because I'm also a person that doesn't like to operate from the place of scarcity. So I think that kind of gets in a way as well. Like when you're too cheap, when you're like, oh my goodness, like I gotta stay on top of it. It's like now you're not like, almost like what you were saying with Gail. Like now you're closing off that income. You're not willing or expecting to receive it to come back. So I don't like to be too much on that end of the spectrum where I'm like, oh my goodness, hold on to every little dollar, because I
gotta have some faith, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know how you guys feel that's joining us tonight. If you want to put anything in the chat box in regards to this question we just read, do any childhood money beliefs impact or influence how you handle money as an adult today? Is it for good or for bad? So if you guys want to drop that in, and we're going to go into, I guess we'll go into expense questions. Why she look? I was like, baby, because the expenses. I think, let's see. It says, name 2 or 3 expenses you can currently cut. Brielle.
I have something I want to cut, but I'm not in a place to cut them.
The setup. Okay, let's hear it.
Well, right now I have 2 storages that I have, and I can't cut them right now because I have a lot of things that I need to keep and want to keep, and I don't have the space right now to accommodate them. I'm in the process of trying to purchase a house, but that's going to be a little bit longer than I anticipated, and so I can't cut those. But those will be the ones. The storage, those 2 storage units, I definitely want to cut those. So those would be the ones that I have.
So that's just one. What's another one? It said 2 to 3.
That's 2, because I have 2. I have 2 storage units. I have one for a car. I have a car storage unit, and then I have one for items.
Oh, gotcha.
My dad said paying the IRS.
Oh, that's a good. Oh, and I guess I would say student loans, but I don't pay those. I got them. That don't exist.
But can you cut those?
But wait, let me preface that by saying, like, before people are like, oh, she just know. Like, I'm in contact with them. Like, I'm on forbearances, I'm on deferments, or I'm on like, they know I'm around. They just not gonna get their money right now, or they might gonna get a very minuscule amount, So I just forget. I'm telling you, until Mr. J said about the IRS, I totally forgot about those student loans. They don't even exist. At this point, I done been out of school for a little bit. Like, I was gonna go ahead and control, alt, delete, or I could bring the degree back. I ain't used it. Ain't nobody asked for it since. Like,
they can have that crap.
Y'all can have it. I'll email it back. I will mail it back. I will personally deliver it back. So,
well, you know, President-elect Biden, he coming through. So,
but that's not even gonna be enough for me.
it's not, but it's something. It's something.
They might as just say that to me because it's not. This is my thing, right? And this is not. I'm not the financial expert here. McQueen is, so don't listen to me. But this is my brain process. Okay, so I owe a lot. Okay, I owe like I got a PhD, and I do. And my thing is the amount of money that they want every month will be detrimental to me, and they won't even put a dent or anything in it. So my thought process: why put such a burden on me every month where it's not going to help the end result? So no, y'all can't get that. Like my goal is to just send them one big check eventually, and that's it. I'm not going to give y'all, $600, $700 a month. I need that. Like I need that for my living situation, and that's not going to put a dent in it. So for me, I'm like, no, y'all can't get that. I called them, tried to say I can give y'all 100, 200. They said, no, that's not enough. So I said, y'all get nothing. And,
I say the same thing too.
Don't follow that, y'all. But, that's my thing. And I got to leave it alone right now because it's such a burden that I can't do nothing about right now. So it's like, why put that on me? My mental health is more important than my financial health. So that's where I'm at. So, yeah, I forgot about student loans. I forgot about those.
Yeah. I'm like, I guess when it comes to me, expenses that I can currently cut, I don't know. See, I don't buy this crap. I don't buy. The only expense I guess you could say with me is that I like to eat. And I'm like, I don't know. I guess I could cut out like the stuff like me going to the store getting like frozen cookies. I don't need that to live. Maybe, like I said earlier, I went and got some cinnamon rolls for Thanksgiving. Yeah, other than that, I don't know what else I could really cut because I'm like real cheap. Like, I don't buy nothing. That's why people I might be in a different state tomorrow. You're like, well, why are you living this life? It's because I don't buy crap. So that I'm using the money to go and do and travel somewhere or do something else because I don't spend it on nothing else.
So to think, just for you all to think outside of the box, and for those who are listening in, while you all may not think it's expenses that you can cut, if you have cable TV, or if you are living in an apartment, and if you have rent. And so what I mean by that, you can't cut it completely, but you can always negotiate any price. And so, for instance, I live in an apartment complex now. Each year rent normally goes up. However, I negotiated to where I can have the same rent from when I started up until when I leave. That's the same with cable. You can always say, hey, I can't afford this, or is this the cheapest package that you possibly have? And so while it may be nickel and diamond, you're still able to at least cut maybe $5 to $10 a month. When you look at that across 12 months, that's at least cutting out maybe $100 to $200, which can go in savings. And so you can cut expenses. It may not be the little things that you all are talking about, but just be creative and innovative about the things that you can cut.
I'm like, all right, well, I've cut cable already. I got Wi-Fi. If they could bring the Wi-Fi down to the cheapest package,
man,
that would be great. Because I feel like
I do call the internet company like every time I see it go up. I'm like, wait a minute, well, go on to cut it off, and then you tell that, they're like, hold on, ma'am, let me see. Right. And so I am at the lowest thing, and then they'll come like, well, I just said there's additional 20% if I add cable. I'm like, how is you adding something on going to save me money? I'm exactly with my internet. Yeah, so I'm always doing that, and I could my cell phone bill could I could decrease that as well, but
it becomes a need versus a want.
Yeah, because I do have like a lot of like some of my bills I know I fall into I guess the pattern where you've been with a company for so long,
right?
And, you don't necessarily go and do price comparison because you just been with them for so long. So like for instance, like my cell phone bill, I'm with the highest one, Verizon Wireless, because I've been with them for so long. I used to work for them, and it's just a comfortability there that I've been there with so long. So with things like that, I could definitely She gonna have me over here making some harassment, you know.
Those things start to add up. So
that's why I left. That's actually why I left Sprint, because like now I'm with T-Mobile. Well, actually, it used to be. I'm with Metro, but they merged with T-Mobile now. So I had. Well, yeah, I originally Sprint merged with what? Metro, T-Mobile.
T-Mobile. So it's T-Mobile, Sprint, and then AT&T and Verizon. That's only 3 of them.
They need to get rid of Sprint, because I left Sprint because my phone bill ended up being like $100 and something to like a month, when I literally started off when it was $60. So that's why I actually went to Metro, because at the time Metro had become like this big thing that was kind of happening, and people was like, "Oh, I'm at Metro. I'm paying $50 a month for unlimited." I'm like, "Well, I'm at now $100 something on Sprint just to say I'm with Sprint, and then I'm going places and my service is not even the best." So I'm like, "What the heck am I doing?" So I went to Metro, and now I just pay $50 a month for my phone, and it's unlimited. And actually, the service is pretty good.
Yeah, because you actually when we went on a cross country trip, you actually had better service in some places than I did, and that's absurd. Because I used to be like, I'm on America's most reliable wireless, and now, you know, and I feel like they didn't improve. They just was resting on that, you know, that reputation for so long. Mm-hmm. And even though I knew it, I just never made that extra step to, you know, go in and try to change and all that. So now you got me thinking.
I got to think that might be one of an expense. Hold on, that you need to cut.
I really need to cut the cell phone anyway, because I don't need to be talking to nobody. Like, I'll talk on the phone. Like, I literally do everything else on the phone that besides talking. So it's like, you can do that with your computer or your iPad, for real. Like, give me a Google phone.
There you go.
Yeah. That's true.
All right, so now we're going to go into credit questions. So here we go, credit. Are you ready for credit? All right, let's see. Let me see. I'm trying to do something good that we can all kind of dabble in. What has your credit score allowed you to purchase?
Nothing. No, I don't know. I don't feel like I ever got like nothing. Like, I feel like I've always had like good credit, and I was able to apply and get stuff. But like, I don't feel like I'll be getting like the interest rate still be retarded. Like, how much more do I need to get? So like, I had a 778, and I don't feel like it got me nothing. Like, I mean, I've always been approved for stuff, thankfully. Like, I never been in a situation where it was like, oh my goodness, am I gonna get approved? Am I gonna get approved? So I haven't been in that situation. But I don't feel like, I don't know, you know, like when they preach about credit, it's like, oh man, you get this good credit score, you're gonna be golden. And I just don't feel like that. I feel like when I look at the interest rate, I'm like, that's still kind of high. And you know, I just don't.
You got to negotiate. A lot of times they'll try you because a lot of people are just not knowledgeable about what they can leverage with good credit. And so when you think something is high interest, generally you would just need to speak with somebody and say, hey, this is, you know, what I got. And I know that you all can do better. And if not, I can go to the next person. And then they'll be like, okay, hold on, let's talk through this. And so you just got to negotiate.
Man. Still no respect. When you get to that, like over 700 about their credit, like I feel like I should have some kind of respect where I shouldn't even have to go through that. But yeah, okay, I'll definitely go the extra mile. Yeah. I be on the phone with these customer service reps and all that, and they gotta, can I speak to the manager? And you know the person they pass you to ain't the manager, that's their home girl.
Right. Yeah. You do. They be trying you, but it's okay. You just gotta try right back.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't feel empowered until I say I'm about to cancel something.
Knowing you really don't want to cancel, but we got to take it there.
Yeah.
So what has my credit score allowed me to purchase? I don't know. I feel the same way. Like, I guess I could say one thing about my credit score is that, so I'll shift to a little thing real quick. So I originally had a great credit score. I originally started with an 850. When I was like in college, great credit score. I moved, before I moved to LA, I had moved back home with my dad. My dad knew the situation. Basically, I was living in LA. I had co-signed on the lease at the apartment where he was at in Jersey. He ended up leaving, and the last month didn't get paid, so it dropped my whole credit score down. I went one day and I was like in the airport, and I was calling because I wanted to do something with my credit card, and I had a $5,000 limit at that time. And they were like, no, you can't do it because your credit card is now $500, whatever. And I was like, what's going on? I don't blah, blah. So then I ended up finding out that happened. So my credit score ended up dropping to I think 500. And then I was able to bring it back up to 820. So, but I do notice and now it's back. Now it's in 700s because when you invest in yourself and you buy games on your credit card, you spend money. So,
like it's a bad thing. Stop.
But I do know that one thing I did notice with having a good credit score is that when I would get a credit card, I would always have at least 9 to 10 months of interest free on my credit card. So I could actually go out and buy stuff and not get that and have to pay interest at the end of the month on my credit card. So that's one good thing I do. I can say my credit score has, I guess, allowed me to purchase. Well, not, but I guess.
And just to kind of bring it home a little bit more, for those of you who may not know who are on, if you rent an apartment, you have to have your credit score on there. Cell phones, credit cards, it can be any small thing. Even when you get cable, I think that they ask for your credit score. And so all of that factors into what you are doing now. And so just like Devon said, if you miss payments, that is going to significantly impact your credit score. That's one of the highest factors that actually can dictate whether or not if your credit score is going to be higher or lower. And so make sure that you do pay on time and that you utilize the credit rate utilization, which is 30% or below. I personally would recommend you stay between 10 to 15, but there's a bunch of things that goes into factoring what your credit score is. But the main one is definitely making sure that you make the payments and you make them on time.
And I guess I can attest to that whole about the apartment one with the good credit score. Because actually, when I moved to California, I was able to get into my apartment out there without having to pay. All I had to put down was $100, and then I paid the first month rent because I had a good credit score. That was when my life was in the 800s. Before the tragedy happened.
The good life. But it's okay because these games is gonna get us there. So that's it.
Because I just don't I feel like all that hard work, I just don't feel like I've been rewarded. I mean, y'all can say everything you said, I got my cell phone, but I don't know. I don't know what I envisioned when I got to a certain credit score, but I just don't feel like, I don't know. Well,
so tell me, have you at least walked through the process of purchasing a home, and are you seeing what you're able to kind of get, or what's in your budget and all that stuff? Are you seeing things through that process?
Yeah, I've purchased homes, rental properties and things like that. So I understand, I know, that's how I say I get approved for things. So I guess that was the actual question. Where have you actually been able to purchase? But I don't know. I just feel like I don't get the respect, or something is missing. I feel like when I got to a certain point, I was just going to be, I don't know. I don't really know what I was expecting, but, I just, it's oh, okay. When they see the score, I feel like I needed something else, a red carpet need to be real, especially if I had an 850 or I need a parade or something for an 850 good. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I've been, I've been approved. Thankfully, like I said, I've been approved. I've never been, declined for something that I applied for. Thankfully, so far, I don't know what's going, how life's going, but thankfully, I've been always approved. I'm never in that situation. I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? What's going to decline? So I've never been in that so far.
A lot of people could be just as shocked as you are, right? You being Black, being a woman. They're not expecting you to have the score that you probably have. And so at that point, they're just so that could be a factor in it too. But you got to let them know, I got 800 and above. Y'all, y'all better show me some respect. Like you really have to be like.
Yeah, I've got that too. Like when I was younger and I purchased my first car, it was like, oh wait, this score. I ain't never seen nobody, this young with this score. And same thing when I try to move out this apartment to get another. I'm like, I feel like it's almost like going against me. They're like, why you got this score? I'm like, well, what score I'm supposed to have?
What's going on, Jaren?
Hey, Jaren, we talking finances over here. We trying to get our lives right.
If you guys are just joining us, because I see some people coming in and going out, and I want to be able to mention it. We're playing FIQ Questions, financial flashcards. It's a great literacy discussion flashcard game. We have Maquiba Massey, who is an expert in finance, but also she is the creator of this game as well. So if you want to support Black the rest of the year into next year and for the rest of your life, and you need a game around financial literacy, definitely check this out. And we also want you guys to make sure, because we are talking here, and I know some people might be scared because it's a financial thing, but please drop some stuff inside the comments. I know my dad kind of touched on that paying IRS, so I don't want to get too into his business, but basically he paying the IRS right now.
You just got all in his business.
She. I don't mean necessarily a bad thing. Sure, that could just mean you make so much money. IRS like, I need my cut, buddy. Dang, you need to be him. Get the belt.
Savon showing out online.
Too much. This is why.
All right, so if y'all have any answers to these questions, or have anything you want to discuss to the questions that we're asking, please drop it inside the chat. All right, let's go on to now. We're gonna go into debt questions. All right, so some debt questions. So it says, do you believe debt is a good or bad thing? Describe good and bad debt.
So both. Like, I have bad debt with them student loans.
Count that credit as good debt on your credit, which is crazy.
Huh?
They count it as good debt on your credit, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's so like, I started to like interrupt what you were saying with this, but so a long time ago, before I ventured into this new life.
I love it. I love the way you said stories though.
New life. I'm trying to figure out the new life. Go ahead.
So I made a documentary around finance around student loans. Well, because Brielle is also a rapper as well, so she let us utilize her song "Ain't That About a" for the intro to the documentary. So basically saying "Ain't That About a B," because student loans is about a B. So and I was able to discover, I took people who had student loans, people who didn't have student loans in college, and I was able to discover the person who didn't have student loans, they didn't have quote unquote like any debt on their credit.
Yeah.
And what happened is that when she went to move into an apartment and also try to get cable and stuff, they actually charged her a fee, like a $300 or $200 fee to hook up like her cable and all that stuff, because she didn't have quote unquote no credit or whatever on her credit, or like the debt. So like she needed that student loan debt to be on her credit for it to be, so she wouldn't have to pay that fee. I don't know, it was crazy. So it was real interesting. So that's how I discovered, when I was like, so even though it's bad to have student loan, I guess when you don't per se pay it, but it's considered good debt on your credit, which is crazy.
Well, now that's interesting, because I don't know, because like when I'm talking to different lenders, when purchasing rental properties, that's one of the things when I'm like, well, I don't have any debt. Like I said, I be forgetting about them student loans. I totally forget. Like I'm not even connected to them. I'm like, oh. So and then they're like, well, do you have student loans? I'm like, oh yeah. So they're like, oh, that could be a problem. So that's interesting, because like and I talked to a bunch of lenders, so they're telling me something totally different. Like, yeah, that could be, a bad thing. Not saying that I wouldn't be able to get it, but they're saying, that is something that will come up as, especially on the debt to income ratio. That's interesting. But yeah, going back to the original question. So you said, oh, is it good, bad? So yeah, I feel like, so, well, for me, I'm going to still stick and say, well, I guess too, a lot of people don't consider student loans bad debt. One, because it's an investment in you, supposedly, in your education. And then two, is a very low interest rate in comparison to any other debt. So that's another reason why people, don't probably consider it bad. But I personally, for me, it's bad in my life. And good debt, I do believe that it is good debt. If you have debt on, income producing assets, or and that could be, like rental properties, or any type of businesses and things like that. So I do believe I don't have any. I only have bad debt right now. I didn't have when I I paid cash for my property, so I didn't have any. I am going to be getting some good debt soon when I purchase my next properties, but yeah, I just have them student loans.
And like when so I'm gonna repeat the question if you guys want to join in the discussion too in the chat. Do you believe debt is a good or bad thing? Describe good and bad debt. So yeah, I'm like Brielle. I believe it's a good thing and a bad thing. Just like I said about the story prior, I guess it's good to have student loans on your credit to create like that that I don't want to say debt, but that debt to create that credit crap or whatever, But also when it comes to bad, I have a lot of bad. Well, I don't have a lot of bad debt. Let me not say that. The only debt that I have is student loans, and I have debt from me purchasing these daggone games on my credit card. And I was literally today, I was at the store, at the Kroger, buying me some plant-based burgers so I could act like I'm a vegan. Hopefully. And,
Why?
Act like he.
That's all he do. That's gonna be for 1 day, 2 days, and then the next day he gonna be at Pizza Hut.
So I was sitting there and I was basically discussing how because when my games in total when I bought them, it cost me about like $9,000 to $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have a credit card that carries $11,000 on it. But that was masked because of me having great credit and the way I was paying stuff. That every time it turned around, they'd be like, "Oh, would you want to add 1,000? When you want to add more, blah blah." So it got up to 11,000. However, now with me utilizing that credit card to pay for the games, now I can't get that extension no more because then they're like, hello, you got money on this credit card. So I was telling my dad. Even selling all the rest of my games that I have because I don't have that much more to sell. It actually won't help me pay off the rest of the debt that's still on the credit card. So I was like, it's still going to be bad debt per se because it's not getting paid off. So I guess that's like my only two bad debts. And then when it comes to good debt,
may I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, okay, before I ask the question, just want to bring the differences in on bad debt versus good debt. And so bad debt is things that we purchase that are unnecessary on credit cards that we don't have the money for, right? Mm-hmm. And so let's just say that we want a certain outfit that costs 10 grand, like Gucci, and we know that we ain't got that money. That would be considered bad debt. Mm-hmm. Now, school, on the other hand, is probably both good and bad. More so good because, and I say more so good because that is sometimes the oldest debt that we have. And obviously one of the, I don't want to say obviously, but one of the factors in building credit is our credit history. How long have we had the credit for? And being that school is generally the longest that we've had, that creates the good part of it because they average the years of our credit. So if we just open an account a month ago and we have school that's over 10 years ago, they'll average those out, and you want to have credit for an average of 7 years for it to be considered great. So if we have that old credit, as opposed to the 1 month, then that's creating a good credit age for us. So that can be both good and bad. Now, to your point, Devon, in regards to you purchasing it on your card, was that a personal card or like your business card?
A business card.
Okay. So the thing, I don't know, but and you can probably tell, but I'm just gonna speak in general. But generally, when you have a business credit card, that does not impact your personal credit at all. It should be separate if your personal credit score is good and you've done well and different things like that. And so if that's the case, when you do have business credit, right, you're able to purchase these things for whatever the amount they may be for, and you can max out. And not saying that that's okay, but being that it doesn't impact your personal, it will be okay for that. Now, you can also build your business credit. So you want to make sure that you stay between or below the 30% credit utilization rate. But if you do exceed that limit, it wouldn't be all bad because it's not touching you personally. And so it's good that you do have it on your business account as opposed to your personal, because if it was your personal, you would be
Yeah, I have it on my business account with the game.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Isn't it a difference with the business credit? Because I know like with certain ones with like when you get business credit, some of them are, you know, strictly with the business EIN number, and then some you have to actually provide a personal guarantee.
Yeah. Yeah. So with the personal guarantee, that's you so in some instances that would be you having to put up collateral. And what I mean by collateral, you would have to put up, let's say you get a business credit card and the limit is $500. That's because you put up $500. And so if you were to not pay it back, that's just them taking your money, right? Because it's the money that you've put up to guarantee that $500 limit. So that's one instance of it. But the other one is just you flat out having credit because your personal credit score is good. And so I'll use my personal experience and my example. When I first started this company, my credit score was a 796. And so with that good credit score, I automatically qualify for a business credit card, which the limit was $10,000, which is not normal because generally they'll start you at maybe 1,000, 2,000, sometimes 500. But because I showed good credit history in my personal experience in my personal life, I was able to get a higher amount, and I didn't have to put anything up against that 10,000 out of my personal money. But if my credit score had been lower, or I didn't show great credit history or personal finances, they may have told me, okay, you can have $1,000, but you have to back up something of that, right? So there's two different instances that you can have. Generally, you'll have to back it up, but if your credit score is good enough, you'll get the full amount for whatever it is and not have to put anything up.
My dad said, explain the difference in buying a house as compared to a car. Are both good or bad?
So buying a car is considered, cars don't appreciate, they depreciate. They don't go up in value. So that would be considered a liability. And so generally you do not want to purchase things that do not appreciate and go up in value. And being that cars don't, not to say that you ever want to buy a car with cash. It's good to buy things with cash, but again, at the beginning of the discussion, we talked about having enough cash flow, and you don't want to have your cash tied up into one big expense that does not appreciate, right? And so while it's good to purchase in cash, you want to leverage and utilize the credit that you have. And so I personally, like, if I had, like, let's just say a car costs $5,000. Well, I have $5,000, and while I can purchase it with cash, instead, I'm going to purchase it on my credit card or some type of loan or auto loan, and then I'll just make payments back. And so then, one, my credit score would and depending on how you look at it, but it would add to the accounts that I have. So the more accounts that you have, the likely that your credit score will go up, because you want to have 10 plus accounts. And then also your age limit, it'll go down at first because you're starting like with a new loan, right? But as that increases over the years, your age of your credit will also increase. So that'll increase your score. So there's good things about leveraging your credit, or using things on loans or credit that will help your credit. Now, as opposed to a house, that so it's going up in value. And I haven't purchased a home, so I really can't speak to that. But from what I do know is that you can actually, like, when you sell it, you'll have like you'll get money for it, or it goes up in value. And so maybe what you purchase it for, when you sell it, you'll get more money for it, right? Because it's appreciated by then. And so with that would be considered a good credit because it actually appreciates, and you can do so much with it in regards to different tax breaks, tax cuts, deductions. You can funnel it through businesses that can get you a bunch of different things. And so that's why it's kind of good to not only purchase a home through like your personal name. And I keep going back to like the Jeezy and Gucci battle. But I don't know if y'all seen it, to where somebody pulled up and was just like, oh, Jeezy said he owned half of Atlanta, but he only got 2 homes in his personal name. Well, you can purchase a home through a business name. That way, if you personally were to get sued, they could take your houses if it was in your personal name. But if you were to get sued and you have purchased those houses under your business name, they can't touch that because it's not attached to you personally. And so like there's different scenarios that you can do with a home loan as opposed to an auto loan, because one appreciates, one depreciates. And so that would be the difference in regards to like good and bad credit.
Yeah. And just to add on to that, as far as buying a house as well, you can also take money out of that. When you have a house loan, you can also refinance and take money out. So if you the amount of the purchase value is, more than what you owe, you could take out that difference and have it as cash, and, potentially purchase another investment that produces income. So that's another benefit, and a reason as to why buying a house is, good debt versus, bad debt.
Equity loan, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Equity loan, or just refinancing, and you can refinance.
Gotcha.
Refinance.
Yeah, so, well, that's good to know. So hopefully you guys, if you're joining us, we're learning some wonderful things when it comes to finances. We got one more category left. I think we didn't say investment yet, right? I think that's the last one, right? Investment.
Yeah.
Investment. So we have investment. Again, if you guys join us, we are talking with financial flashcards through FIQ questions. So we're utilizing these flashcards to talk about financial discussions. And we have the creator on here with us, McQueva Massey, but she's also an expert in finance. So this is a great
this is awesome. This is awesome. It got you thinking, like even like the more simplistic subjects that we were talking about, it starts to make you think. It's like, what was the question? Like, do you have anything you can get rid of? I'm like, no, I only got this one thing. But then we really start thinking, like, well, what about? Like, oh shoot, yeah, we go, so it's one thing when you sitting by yourself and you thinking about things right now, but then when you start, that's why me and Devon like to do this live with, and today we're not getting as much as we usually get, but like we usually have a community of people that chime in. And so when you get together, we don't do this, especially particularly as Black people, we don't really get together like you were saying. This is why you created the game, right? Talk about things particularly in this realm, finances. So one brain, 2 brains, or 3 brains are better than one, and that really helped, because like I said, that first question, I'm like, no, I'm good. I got one thing, it's like, what about okay. This is definitely, I like it. It's awesome.
And I'm kind of mad that like Rael said, we usually have more people in. I think what kind of threw it off is because last week we didn't come on. So I think people are like, where the hell they at? So I threw my mouth. I'm like, I'll be using this. I gotta stop. My dad told me to stop doing
Hold your hand out. But we do have a lot of people that go back and watch them, and then they start commenting, and we're not live no more. And we like,
So I'm hoping people will come in, and particularly with this, because we really want to make sure people because once I got this game, I was just like, this is great, because like Brielle said, we don't have, like you said earlier, we don't have discussions around finances. Yeah. Like literally a lot of us will, like a lot of our parents will tell us, outside of finances per se, they'll say like, go to college and then you work for someone else, instead of like go and create your own business and talk about finances at the table. You know what I'm saying? Right. You can still go to college, but you can also create your own business while in college. But like a lot of our parents will say, go to college and get a career, work for someone else. When it's like, why not, create your own business, create your own wealth. You know what I'm saying? So, and I feel like I don't want to say wealthy people in general, because I don't know what happens in wealthy people's houses as far as the discussion around the table, but it's like they kind of learn more about finances or discuss finances a little bit more than people that are less in an economical bracket. Because I don't want to say I don't want to say just black people, because it's a white thing. It's a every person thing. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And just to piggyback off of that, that is like true. That's going back to one of the questions, like what were you taught, as a kid about finances? And one thing, another thing that jumps out to me is, that's your business, private, so you don't talk about that. And I still kind of believe a certain amount of that to a certain extent. But when I was privy to be in wealthier circles, they flat out had discussions like that, and it wasn't even necessarily like family. It was like friends or like, look, okay, Devon, what's your financial goals? And it's like, I actually saw them sit down and have meetings and say like, okay, this is how much credit card debt I have, like the exact amount. This is how much income I have. And it wasn't on a thing where someone is like trying to get into your business. It's like, okay, I know how to make you go from this. You're in this amount of debt, and this is how much income you want to have this month. This is what you need to do. And it was like, I'm literally telling this person, number by number. So I think we got to kind of find a happy medium between like what we're comfortable with discussing, but then, also like you got to put it out there in order to get help. Like people can't help you if, they don't know what you need help with.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because that also prompts me into this. I know we trying to get to the last question. Sorry, y'all. But like, this is really, like I said, this is a great game for like discussion around finances, because it actually prompts me to say, because everybody always tells me when you go, like, say if you go get a job, you have a job interview, everybody be like I'm the person like, well, how much I'm making? How much y'all paying? Like, that's who I am. And people are like, you're not supposed to ask that in the first meeting when you meet them. How much am I going to get? Because if I'm not getting enough, I can't be here with y'all. So and it's so funny, because that's a taboo thing too, right? Where people be like, oh, you can't ask them about your salary, or you can't ask them about this and that when you first go in to have like the job interview. You gotta wait till you go back in there for the second interview, and then that's when they quote unquote ask you, this is how much we're going to give you, blah blah. And people are always scared. Like, we had this before this discussion, and my cousin, who she was on here earlier, but I guess she must have went to do something. But we was talking about the whole thing of like salary and asking. I remember we was talking about like the whole thing of like asking about your salary and all the stuff, and how people don't really do it. Like, they don't go in the room when it comes to like your money you're getting paid and actually ask those questions around like, can I get more money?
Yeah. You can definitely negotiate your salary, but even further, and then I'll shut up. Not even once you get the job or when you're trying to get the job, but when you're on the job and everybody's like, hush, hush, like, I'm not telling you how much I make, or I don't want you to know how much I make. But when you start to really, and by the way, so I researched this in my doctoral program right now. And so through research, I have found that when going back to the history as to why nobody really wants to discuss how much they make, it isn't because it's so much of confidential information. It's because HR set those policies in place so that we as a minority community would not recognize that we're actually getting paid less than our majority counterparts. And so like it goes deeper as to what we think we know. And so having these conversations will actually help us move forward, because we know that there's a wealth gap between, you know, white men, black men, and then black men and black women. And so it just keeps going to a trickle down effect, because everyone just thinks, oh, it's confidential information and I don't want to share this. But in fact, we need to, so that we can actually break those ceilings and break those barriers to move forward in the direction in which we need to go. But that's why we have to change the psychological factors that are influencing our thoughts so that we can move forward.
Yeah, that's true. Now I need to talk to my older sister, because she's HR, human resource director. And I'm not going to say where we're at, but now when I get on the phone with her, I'm like, let me tell y'all something at HR right now.
I just always wondered, you know, back when I was, you know, working W-2 jobs or whatever, I always, because I never came and said, you know, I was always following that, like, you know, you don't really talk about it too much. But I'm always thinking, when we was having that discussion, like, would they even want to share that with us? You know, being that they already know it, we kind of, even though we don't talk about it, we kind of already know that, you know, the white counterparts are making more, the man is making more. So I would wonder, like, if you was to go up to like a black woman, go up to a white man in the office and say, hey, how much are you making? Would they even, you know, that's why I'm like, how would we even find that information out? Like, I know certain jobs they have is public, where they list, you know, what each title is making, but like, I was like, how do we even go about, you know, getting that information? Because I don't feel like they would give that information up.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to discuss their finances, which is a problem. I'm like, that's how, like McQueen would say, that's how we end up getting duped, right? Because no one wants to discuss anything.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. So this is the last category we're discussing, is investment questions, you guys. And I'm going to discuss this question. It says, by the grace of God.
Amen.
You just won $20,000 for being your authentic self in a world of internet frauds. You have 60 seconds to decide what to do with it. What would you do with it? Explain. So,
yeah, you want to discuss it? You go ahead first, sir.
Well, I don't know. Like, $20,000 nowadays ain't that much money to me. Maybe because the world is changing. So I probably would like just help him.
How much you gonna get for $20,000?
So I'm gonna be like, so I probably would utilize it to, of course, pay credit card, the rest of my credit card off.
Wait, are we supposed to be investing, or this just whatever you want to do with the money?
I think I could do whatever I want to do, right? I can do whatever.
However y'all take it.
Okay.
What you want to do. You can invest it. You can pay down debt. What you gonna do?
Okay, I'm gonna pay the credit card off, and then the rest I would then put towards investments. You know, I got my little stocks now. You know what I'm saying? So like with my little stocks, you know, I'm gonna invest in my little stocks. Maybe I go buy me some Shopify stocks, since they just had this $9 billion, $2.4 billion type of situation happening, and they went up a little bit in stock. So I maybe invest in some stocks. You know, so then next year when I go to do my taxes, and the lady asks me, do I have any stocks or whatever, and I show her my little dividend that I got from my stock, it won't be a penny this time. It'll be more, right?
You go ahead with your penny.
Wasting that accounting time with a penny.
So that's what I would that's what I would do if I had 60 seconds to decide what I would do with it. That's what I would do with the $20,000. Real.
You would pay off your credit card, and what? You would pay off your credit card, get it
and more stocks, so I could diversify my portfolio, as they say.
There you go. Now you're talking like a financial expert.
5 cents here, 5 cents there. That is not diversifying. No, that is not a portfolio. Okay. So I got $20,000. What am I going to do with it? I'm not paying no student loans. I owe more than $20,000. If it's not the full amount of student loan, they're not getting it. I'm just going to add it to my investment pot, and and try to buy another property. I'm a real estate person, so yeah, I feel more comfortable with that. I do have some stocks, more than Devon.
You know, they call me out on this live about new stuff.
That's mad with my boy Mr. James over here, so I have to get you back. But I don't feel comfortable with my level of knowledge with stocks at this moment. So for me, I still feel like I'm gambling with stocks because I don't know too much about it. Luckily I have made some great choices based on just stuff that I use in my normal day of life. So I know that they're going to continue to grow. They're going to be here for a very long time. So that's my only investment strategy that I have as far as stocks. So I will go with something that I'm more comfortable with, which is real estate. So I would add that too. Call up a lender and see call up a realtor, see what property I can get for that amount, or just add it to whatever else I have, and or see what loan I can qualify with that cash. Because like when you get a loan, you gotta show some kind of cash. So that's what I would do.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sounds good. Well, thank you, Maquiba, for joining us. Thank you for this awesome flashcard game around financial discussion, financial literacy, investment, credit, debt, expenses, everything. Like I said, well, I don't know where the heck everybody's at. They on here, but I really feel like when they saw finances, they got scared. Don't nobody really want to discuss their finances, and they don't doing their business. But I'm gonna find out anyway. So,
you have to do a part 2 of this because this was very, and I know you got that was only what 5. How many questions we did? Like 4, 5?
We just went through each category. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6 categories, and we did 6 different cards in each category.
And just out of 6 cards, that made me start thinking about a lot. Like so this would be definitely. I'm going to definitely go ahead and get this game. You guys, I suggest you guys go ahead. This is even if you don't play it with somebody else, just to look at them questions yourself and just start thinking to yourself like, okay, all right, let me see what I need to do, because we all need to make some changes. Like we can always be doing better financially, so it's always somewhere to grow. Like we was talking about earlier, like you might think you ain't got a bill to get rid of, but you could find something. Or if you don't have any bills, I'm sure we all can deal with use some extra dollars or whatever. Yeah. So it's definitely Thank you for creating this game, Maquiba. This is like an awesome idea. We definitely need this. Definitely, like in our Black community, we always talking about, the Black community definitely need this. If you have kids, this would be a good thing, ways to, start getting them to think about finances and, educating them on different ways to think.
And like my dad said, he said, good game. This should be a course in high schools, which is true. I know.
Elementary, because that's when we really are susceptible to learning new things. So just start, even if we gotta dumb it down a little bit, but just start planting that seed. So we, so they can start learning the right way. Because like we in our generation right now, we're in the process of we have to unlearn the majority of things that we learned, and then learn the right way.
Unlearn and relearn.
Yes, like we can cut that step out, So if I have some kids, it'd definitely be like,
what?
Because everybody in this house got to be producing some kind of income. Right? So this is awesome, man. This is I loved it. Awesome game.
Thank y'all for inviting me on the show. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you, because I don't even know, we didn't set this up prior or anything. So thank you for, she was available. We were so excited that she was available. So thank you for, hopping on with us and giving us sharing your expertise with us.
Absolutely. So just let me know the next time if y'all have another one. But I will be on the next show that y'all do have. So y'all have a great rest of y'all night, and I'll let y'all continue with your show.
All right. Thank you
so much.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
So that was Maquiba Massey. She is the creator, the founder of and creator of the FIQ. I'm trying to make sure it's that my daggone light. I'm trying to get better right here. Here we go. FIQ Questions financial flashcards. You can grab the game at FIQquestions.com. I put it on the screen so you guys can see it. This is definitely
Ron, you could put a post up like somewhere on our page where you guys can go and get the game. They can, a direct link or something like that, so you guys can go get the game. This is a awesome game. Like I said, if you don't want to share it with someone else, well, you definitely should probably, if you got somebody you're living with or whatever, definitely you can play with them. But yeah, or if you want to just play with yourself, this is a good game.
It's great. Now we all like. It's so funny because after you start getting all this knowledge and getting all this information, you be so excited, like you about to conquer the world, and then you go right back tomorrow, fall right back to the same old crap. You be like,
well, we don't want to say that. Each day is a new day. Each day you work up as a different person or a different version of yourself. So we evolving. We going, you're gonna buy one less than a bun. Next time instead of going to get all 3 packs, you might just get 2 packs. I'm gonna call Verizon and tell them they need to knock off something else on my bill. I'm gonna call Spectrum and tell them I'm not happy with my internet. So yeah, I'm always fighting. I'm always calling somebody. I do that sometimes. I call people and squabble over pennies and cents and dimes or whatever. Yeah, we just got to keep it. Just got to be an ongoing thing. But I think we definitely should do a follow up one day regarding finances and stuff like that. Hopefully, our family, our community would join us back because everybody's scared.
I know everybody disappeared. I'm like, maybe because the holiday just ended and Cyber Monday, it was just yesterday, so everybody might be still in that holiday trying to recover. It's so interesting. We didn't see some of the regulars on here. We missed you, Deborah. Len, you came and you went. I don't know where you went. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to start deducting that because y'all coming and y'all going, and that's not cool. You gotta stay the whole show. Monique has been bounced out of the whole situation, so if you come back on and you see this video, like I'm calling you out because y'all leaving Jaren, you popping in, you popping out, you raising hands, and then you going. And y'all, all of y'all need to be on tonight regarding finances. My dad, he hung around. Power to the people, because my dad was hanging in there strong, asking some amazing questions. But the people that need to be on here, because I know y'all finances ain't all the way right. I love you all, but I gotta put it out there. Okay.
No, this holiday season, I think after the holidays and things like that, it'll be a good time to come back and revisit this topic because that's when everyone has spent some money that they may or may not should have spent or whatever. But I know a lot of this time, this is a splurging time, so you might not want to talk about finances right now. So I think YOLO, it's YOLO time, So I get it.
But this
iPhone, new Apple Watch, I get it.
But this was a wonderful discussion, though. So one more time, I'm going to shout it out, and we're going to get off here, you guys. It's FIQ Questions. I'm also going to put a post on Live with Brielle and Devon page as well for where you can go and get the game at. That'll go directly to the website, and the website is www.fiqquestions.com. So, and I guess we're going to call it a night, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, so you guys have an awesome week. It's the first of the month. Hopefully everyone has paid their monthly rent, mortgage, and we're just gonna hope that you guys have an awesome week. And don't discount the rest of this year. We had 1 month to get whatever we wanted to achieve for the year, and let's get it started for next year. So have an awesome week, and we will check in with you guys next week, same time, same place.
All right. So we are going to be out of here, you guys, and we will see you next. Are we coming? We come back next Tuesday, right?
Yep.
All right. So we will see you guys next Tuesday. All right. See y'all later. Bye. Hey.